This is going to be a autobiography of me, Dennis Miskowski. I grew up in a beautiful family and a ever-growing desire and belief in myself. I always believed in myself, no matter what. Just to let you know, I'm just waking up, just jumped out of the shower. Saturday, and wake up before everyone else. I've always believed that I can do it. Whatever I want to do, I can do. So, with that being said, I always loved having people around me as well. And I believe not only in myself, I believe anybody can do anything they put their mind to. And if you talk to someone I know, they will tell you that I always try to believe in someone. No matter what, I believe in someone. So, I've been thinking how I can make a video and I could tell people about myself. Well, I'll start out at the age of about, let's say, 12 or something like that. I was a young kid. I always liked to be dirty, right in the grind of working on my bicycles and stuff like that. There wasn't nothing I couldn't fix on a bicycle because it goes back to that I believe in myself. So I grew up in a beautiful area, had great friends, but we didn't always do the right thing. So sometimes my friends and myself would go out and go swimming. The day would start out going swimming, and we might come home with an extra bike or something. So, we'd come home with an extra bike, and because it wasn't only my bike, I was the guy that took it apart, split it up amongst me and my friends, put this part on that bike, this part on the other bike, this part on the other bike, and, we made a bad situation into a good situation. So, this grew, and after the bicycle time, and just to show you how creative I was, I would take 2 wheels and put it on the front of my bike, put a steering wheel on my bike, make a 5-speed out of a 10-speed, take a 26-inch 10-speed, and make a 20-inch rim out of the hub. And not only make a 20-inch rim, take a dirt bike rim and put it on a 10-speed hub to build my own 5-speed. And I would make a shifter out of a rever or a lever. I would make shifters out of anything because I love the option of shifting gears low, because I used to love to wheelie my bike. And I just believed I could do anything. I've taken the front end off of a moped and put it on a bicycle. And then after the bicycle time, I went to mini bikes. Then we'd go out and steal a lawnmower with a side shaft coming out of the lawnmower, and I would build a mini bike. I've taken riding lawnmowers and built a go-kart with a side shafted motor on them. I was always building something because I always believed in myself. And I always feel like I have more drive than the normal person. I wake up early, whether it's to work hard for myself or read about someone else or hear a video about someone else. And I mean, I'm just always doing something, right? But anyways, back to the story. I believe in myself, and I believe in a lot of people. I believe people can do things and that I can do. And sometimes I take it for granted that I have a lot of talents. Over the years, because I believe in myself, I've grown a lot of talents. I'm going to talk to you about those one at a time because I have so many talents from just simply believing in myself. If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. And that's what this video is about, believing. And believing in yourself, which is I believe in me. And I also believe in you. I believe anyone can do what they want to do if they have the right person behind them. If you get to following someone that is going out robbing stores, my life, robbing, stealing, and you keep practicing that, you're going to turn into a robber and no one's going to want to be around you. Well, this is what I did. Because I believed in myself, I started building mini bikes. Then I started doing car radios. And again, we started out stealing, and I started hooking up car radios for other friends and stuff like that. And first it was bicycles, mini bikes, go-karts. And before that, before bicycles, it was big wheels. I would even cut a big wheel in half and make a go-kart out of it. I forgot all about that. Another creative thing. Me and my friend did that. So, and that may have been what started me to be so creative. Me and that friend. But then I started just, everybody would get a mini bike or a moped. And if someone stole a moped, they'd bring it to me and I would get it running for them. And I always believed I could do anything. And anyone that knows me knows that I will try to fix anything. And when I was a kid, even if a tape cassette player broke in the house, I would take it apart and fix it. And that's just what I do. I mean, I believe in myself and I can fix anything. So let's get back to the line of my life, basically. The journey of my life. So now I'm at mini bikes. Some of my friends would go out and get a moped, get it going, or I would get it going for them. And sometimes when I get it going and it doesn't work properly, I have a parts bike. They give it to me. So I would take mini bike parts, put it onto moped parts, put it onto a mini bike, and I would have shocks in the front on a little mini bike. When there were no shocks around on mini bikes, I had shocks on my mini bikes. And everybody would always ask me, where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from? I would just say a friend and made a trade or something. But, you know, I kind of got things the wrong way, but I always made something positive with them. And I learned along the way how to fix things. Those things later on in life became very useful tools. I became a mechanic on my car. I built restored cars. I'd done so many things. So then, after the mini bike stage, I got into a motorcycle. I made a trade for, what did I make a trade for to get that motorcycle? I don't know. I think it was a mini bike. And the mini bike was working, functioning properly and everything. And I traded it for a motorcycle that the back sprocket was broken. Well, me being me, hey, it's a bigger motorcycle. I'm going to make this motorcycle work. And that's what I did. And when I made the trade, the guy told me, now if you ever get pulled over on this motorcycle, you did not get it from me, the guy told me. And I understood that it possibly could have been stolen, which it probably was, but I said, okay. So I'm riding this motorcycle everywhere, never got pulled over. Then I borrowed it to a friend, and he got pulled over, and I told him the same spiel that the guy I got it from told me. Hey, if you ever get pulled over on this motorcycle, you don't know where you got it from. Well, to make a long story short, that friend wasn't such a friend, because when you tell somebody something and they don't hold up to that, I believe that's not loyalty. And this world is going to get back to loyalty soon. Very soon we're going to get back to loyalty. I see a lot of stuff in social media that people are not being real loyal, but I'm a very, very loyal friend, and I always believe in my friends. And sometimes, you know, your friends don't have that same belief in you. But then you do have friends that do believe in you and will call you for problem solving. And I try to help my friends always with problem solving. And that's why I'm making this video, because I believe in myself, and I believe that I can help you solve your problems just like I solve my problems. Nobody is perfect. Everybody's going to have problems. The thing is, believe in yourself and solve them problems, right? So let's get back to this motorcycle. So I borrow it to a friend. He gets pulled over on a motorcycle by the police, and what happens? The police give me a call. Come pick up your motorcycle. We thought this guy stole it or whatever. And I said, no, he didn't steal it, but okay. Or I think he got locked up or something. And he said, it's not my motorcycle. That's Dennis Miskowski's motorcycle. Exactly what I told him not to do, he did. So right then and there, I knew that wasn't a good friend. As much as my other friends hung out with this guy, because he was a funny guy, cool guy, but you have to take those little notes in life about when somebody's good and when somebody's bad. So after that, you know, and if it is a friend, it's a friend to this degree. You see this right here? That degree. That small of a friend. It's an associate. Once somebody does you wrong, do not count them as a friend. So anyways, go on after that. I start installing stereo. First, you know, I'm probably 15, 16 years old. First, we probably stole a couple stereos. I learned how to install my own, and then I would install friends' stereos and stuff like that. And to make a long story short, then I started seeing everybody making money selling drugs. And because I installed stereos, I got to know a lot of people that basically had money that were selling drugs. And I got into selling drugs and became very successful. My city, where I lived, had a drought. A drought is when no one has drugs. Well, I basically ran into someone that did have drugs through a brother of mine that is no longer with us. And he connected me with someone that had drugs. I started out very little, got something from this particular guy, and I found out that no one had drugs because my drug house had a line going out, and I was selling with another friend at that time. My drug house had a line going way out to the LE, to the street, and I'm like, oh my God, this is getting crazy. So everybody finds out that I have drugs, and the guys that I was hooking up radios for and stuff like that come to me and say, hey, what's up? Get me some. So obviously it's going to take a cost. So I would get something for someone, let's say if I paid $15 for it, I would sell it to them for 20. And the numbers may have been a lot bigger than that. But whatever, at the time, I'm not going to lie, I was probably only selling a half ounce or an ounce or whatever, and I probably couldn't afford that. And so anyways, to make a long story short, got into a partnership with someone. They wanted to run things their way, and as soon as I got on the path, as soon as I found out, hey, this guy doesn't want to go big, and he wants to keep on selling in a house that has a line coming to it, and I was thinking that's a big risk. And I said, I can't keep doing this. So I went out on my own, and I wasn't looking for these small customers. I said, I'm going to just find people that are selling it. So I always wanted to go bigger. And that's what I did. And by the time I knew it, I was busted. Bam! And made a lot of money at it. So that's the first time I made a lot of money. But keep this in mind, I always believed in myself. I can do anything. So, and I had a lot of people around me, friends, and I can do anything. That's always the belief I had, and I always believed in my friends. And if someone showed me they weren't loyal, they might not have known it at the time, but I said, hey, let me get out of here. I'm not going to put myself in this situation. So I would stop hanging out with that friend. And not real fast, you know. And some friends, because I was making money and, you know, they were working or something like that, sometimes I wasn't able to hang out with them like I wanted to. And, you know, friends during life come and go. Not saying it like that, they come and go, but they become more significant in particular parts of your life. So always keep friends, because the ones that are always loyal to you, stay loyal to them. I believe that's a great way to be successful. Okay, so now let's go on to, I got busted, got locked up. I did 6 years in the penitentiary for selling drugs to an undercover cop. You know how that goes. But anyways, after I get out, well, while I was in there, I was always about believing in myself, and any course I could take or any time I could talk to someone that was successful on the streets, I would talk to them and pick their brain about how they did things. Well, I ran across a guy, I don't know if he wants me to use his name, but I ran across a guy when I was locked up that had properties on the street in the particular city I was from. And I knew some of his buildings, and some of his buildings were landmarks. So I said, oh, okay, he knows what he's doing. So I kind of copied what he told me with my own little twist to it, because when I was in jail, I learned how to do plumbing and a little bit of electrical. And I forgot to put this part that was in my life. Before I went to jail, I learned with my father how to build basically a garage, because we built a shed that was so large that it was almost a little garage. And he taught me how to do that. He taught me all about the 16 on center and headers and jack studs and king studs and stuff like that. And I learned about that, and I touched up that through a job that I had. Was that before? No, that was after. And then I touched up with that on a little job that I had. But anyways, so I get out of prison 6 years later, and I believe in myself. And when I get out, I tell everybody I know I'm going to get into real estate. And they're like, oh, you're crazy. A lot of people lose their houses and this and that. And my friend, when I was in jail, taught me about real estate. And I'm thinking, man, I could do that. That sounds like something that makes money and I can do. So there it goes back to believe in yourself. So I believed in myself. So I get started on my real estate journey, and my mother comes across a property that is worth $5,000 or something like that. Well, getting out of jail, I didn't have no money, and my mother basically had this property that was in total disrepair, needed to be gutted. And it was in an area that was worth about $30,000 at the time. And the place was gutted. I mean, it needed everything. Finished in very nice shape, it would have been worth $30,000, but it needed $15,000 to get to that state. So what I did was I got that property from my mother, and I stuck every penny I made into that property, and it probably took me about 8 months, I would say, to get that property up and going. So I get that property up and going, and it was a single family property. I turned it into a duplex because I figured I could get income from the upstairs, and there was only me and my significant other, which is my ex now, and it was only me and her. So I took that property, fixed it up, and the area went up in value. By the time I was done with that property, I got $40,000 for that property in a refi. I refinanced that property, and I went on to my next property. I bought, let's see, which property did I buy? I think I bought two more properties. With that 40 grand, I bought two properties. I bought one cash, and the other one I had 20% down for another property. So I took the refinance of one property, bought another one, and then I had the 20% down for another property. And then I fixed those two properties up, refinanced one of them, and the other one had a loan on it, and I went out and bought two more properties. I continued doing that. Then, this is a funny story. The friend that taught me about real estate, I run into him. He just got out of prison that day, and they're sending him for his physical. And I run into him on the bus stop. And mind you not, when I was in this hustle mode, when I first got out of prison, I probably had 7 houses at the time. And I run into this friend. The same friend that taught me what I knew. And I'm in my little putt-putt truck, and I'm looking all dirty. My passenger side is filled up to the top of the seat with garbage because it's my lunchroom as well. I'm over there hustling, working as hard as I can. No one's working with me because I'm going to tell you why no one's working with me real quick. Because I asked everyone to invest with me before I got started. Hey, borrow me some money and we'll become we're gonna get rich. Let's get in this all together. Well, no one wanted to, and I could understand why, because I had another brother that went to prison, and whenever he came out, everything was a lie. You know, I found myself in prison and found that honesty is the best way to do things, because if you keep on following dishonest things that you do in life, they're going to sooner or later catch up to you, and you're not going to... Life is transparent, basically. If you do dishonest things, it's going to catch up to you. So, with that being said, no one wanted to go into a business with me because they thought, oh, well, this brother got out of prison and he always said he was going to do this and that and this and that, and then he robbed and scammed everyone. So they figured I would be the same way. Well, I wasn't like that at all. I got into real estate, and I just started working hard. I ran into a great family that basically turned me on to a bank that did a great job for me. At that time, it was Wauwatosa Savings Bank, and I was doing great in real estate. I went out and bought a bunch of properties, and sooner or later, I bought a 30-unit apartment building, bought a 6-unit apartment building, bought a 36-unit apartment building, bought 4 families, bought a 40-unit apartment building, and I was doing great. And then what happened was, because I'm so good at making money and I believe in myself so much and I believe I can make anything happen, I went to Mexico and built a business in Mexico. I had a hotel in Mexico. I had a house in Mexico. I was making approximately 60 grand. I was actually pulling in about 100 grand a month and keeping about 20 grand a month at that time, somewhere in that area. I don't remember the exact numbers. Now we're talking, this is in, what year was this? This was probably in 2004, I want to say. 2004. Mind you not, I got out of prison in 1997. 1997, I got out of prison, bought my first property. 96, actually, I got out of prison. December of 96. And 97, I bought my first property in April. So, I mean, got the first property in 98. I already owned probably 5 properties. 99, I probably owned 15 properties. In 2000, I owned probably about 20 properties. So, and bigger units. Went from small units to big units. So, let's get back to the story. So, I started this business in Mexico. Well, I'm away from my family, and, I always believe in myself. I can do anything. I went down there and I built a business. And I also speak Spanish. People helped me learn Spanish over the years, and basically I believed I could learn it, and I learned it just by communicating with people. And I have a lot of friends that speak Spanish. So anyways, I get this property in Mexico. I fix it up. This is the single family home that I bought. That was, when you buy a property in Mexico, it was a brand new house. When you buy it, the only thing it has in it is a toilet, and there's all the rough plumbing is done in the place. You have to put in the flooring that you want. It comes with concrete floors. You have to put in the flooring you want. You have to put in the cabinets you want. You have to put in the sinks that you want. And it comes with the tub was already in there. Tub and toilet comes into place. But it was a brand new house in a brand new subdivision, and it did not have a garage. So that's why I say I fixed it up, because it was a brand new house, but you have to do everything to it still. I think I paid like $37,000 to $42,000, I don't know, somewhere in that area. Well, anyways, after I bought that, I'm building a garage so that I can keep my car inside the garage when I'm not in Mexico. So I also put all the plumbing in it. Not all the plumbing, but you have to hook up the plumbing, the boiler on the outside of the house, and then you have to put cabinets in. You have to put kitchen sink, bathroom sink. What else did I have to do? All the flooring throughout the house. So I put ceramic tile in because that's what I do. That's one of the things I do. I have many talents that I've learned over the years. I do ceramic tile. I do electric, plumbing. I do hardwood floors. I can do drywall. I mean, I basically do everything to do with a house. Look at me right now. I'm ready to go to work. Actually, I have a guy calling me right now. What's up? Are we working today? Or what's up? And yes, of course we're working today. I am doing a little job today. It's an electrical job, so we got to get over there and do some electrical work. But anyways, so I'm telling you about the Mexico atmosphere. So I'm in Mexico. I'm building this house down there that's brand new, and I'm putting an addition on it, which is a garage. And I'm 3/4 of the way done, and I find a business down there to buy. I'm like, whoa, a bandit hotel. Wow, I can do this. A bandit hotel. Well, I get the hotel all together. I fix up the hotel now. I'm down there, and I bought a hotel, I think, for $72,000 or something like that. It was a bandit. Everything was stolen. And when I say everything, when they strip a